Alright, I checked out this book, The Coming Global Superstorm, kind of like that 2012 movie by Art Bell and Whitley Strieber. I didn't realize they were part of the global warming propaganda machine. It makes sense now a little bit. But, you know, as chemtrail activists are beginning to realize that global warming is actually caused by chemtrails, and that geoengineering is the excuse to justify weather modification, quote unquote. But this actually says in the cover, it's building right now. 1998 was the most violent year in the history of weather and ended as the hottest year ever recorded. According to a March 15, 1999 report, worldwide temperatures are rising much faster than expected. On July 18, 1999, temperatures in Moscow hit a record 91 degrees. Temperatures like that just 750 miles from the Arctic Circle are a dire warning that superstorm could start any time. What will trigger it? So it was interesting that 1998 was the most violent year in the history of weather, and 1997, as we all know, was when they started the, at least the nationwide, if not the global campaign of chemtrailing us. Also, we know that 1997, in November, was when Public Law 105-85 went into effect, and that, my dears, are the it's basically the permission slip we gave by not disputing it. Public Law 105-85 says that the Department of Defense does not have the right to spray us chemically. But then it lists the exceptions, and the exceptions are pretty much anything. Any peaceful purpose relating to agricultural, pharmaceutical, research, industrial purposes. With that kind of law, like, why do they even need to state they don't have the right to spray us when it's at their discretion? They've cleared their conscience of it, and we have allowed the spraying to continue and the law to stand. I wonder how much they're in on it, or they're just tools. But I had no idea. All right. Came here to find old books to see what kind of clouds there used to be. First off, we have Elements of Cloud Physics. 76 was when it was last checked out, so it's been around for a while. The discovery that rainfall can be stimulated artificially has given the study of cloud physics practical incentive. Artificially discovery. Okay, we have that. So already they knew that we know that they can manipulate weather back then. So here's proof of that. That wasn't a big secret. Weather, the straight pattern. Okay, 76, 1978, weather, the straight pattern. To the back. Cloud, 65 to 75. And yet, 64 to 75. It's been cut out. Somebody ripped it out. Now let's move on to Discovery Channel weather. This one's a little more recent. Let's see when it was. 1999, just a couple years after they started the program, but maybe they weren't on board with the weather modification terminology changes. Clouds. 30 to 33. And we have 28. Torn out pages to 35. And the Weather Channel Discovery book. So, someone here is not, well, either they wanted to save it for themselves as proof, and another chemtrail activist, or if this is a program that's going on and history is being rewritten. So I got this from the library after scrolling some of the titles on cloud classifications. Search for results for cloud classification, all text, and before 1997. Name that cloud. Miami Herald. Ever study the clouds? Do you know each one is different? And that if you can distinguish the clouds in the sky, it can help you determine the weather conditions? In 1894, the World Meteorological Organization came up with a chart for classifying the clouds that still exist. There are 3 basic forms of clouds: low level, mid-level, and high level, which tells you where they are in the sky. These classifications are based on the air motion in the sky. From there, clouds are broken down further. See if you can guess what kind of clouds these are. Boldface all of these. And we have 7 right here, and if you count nimbostratus, that's 8. Cirrus clouds, cumulus clouds, stratus, cirrocumulus cloud, stratocumulus clouds, altocumulus cloud, altostratus cloud. Here's a description of what they are. I'm not going to read this, but you can pause it if you want. And infowebnewsbank.com. Search Infoweb. Did this on March 5th, 2013, because I set out to find out what kind of cloud classifications there were before the NASA chart, which came out, was it last year? Came out recently. It might have been 2011, maybe it was 2010. But a lot of people went, We were taught there were 7 clouds.
What my friend brought over to me today, it says Introduction to Clouds. It's from NASA. On the other side it says Sky Watcher Chart from NASA. I shit my pants. 3/4 of the clouds on here are chem clouds. This one down here is a cirrus cloud with all these little spider legs coming out. That's textbook chem cloud. Right down here we have a chem bow, and they have it down as a cirrostratus. Down here we have the textbook ripple effect going on in this picture, and they're actually giving that a name, calling it a cirrocumulus. Oh my goodness, this is shocking. The only real clouds we have are these ones right here, the cumulus L1 and a cumulus L2, and then we have a cumulonimbus. That's all real, but all these other shady clouds, oh my god, right here, that's the cottage cheese one I talk about. That's a real severe newer chem cloud fabrication. They give it a name, altocumulus. This is brand new now. This is 2010. This is another thing that just really hit me hard. They're calling this, check that out folks, a contrail up there in the top. A contrail, you should see that thing. It's like just 2 huge chem clouds in the sky. And on the other side, it's like a chemtrail that's cut in half. Contrails dissipate within 3 minutes or so. chem clouds, chemtrails, they don't disappear for about 2 to 3 hours. And they're much denser, much thicker. I cannot believe the programming. Check it out. We got a little jet up here with some, chem clouds coming out of the back. Look at what they are calling a contrail. Oh my God. It's crazy, because they have this whole thing where these chem clouds they're trying to say they're, a solar shield. But let me tell you, during the night, infrared radiation is blocked in the atmosphere by the artificial clouds. So the whole, geoengineering option in order to keep global warming down and to reflect the sunlight is a total lie and a hoax.
Seven types of clouds, and that brought me to the library to research old books that had cloud classifications, and that's when I noticed all the books that were old enough to list the cloud classifications before 1997 had their pages ripped out in exactly the part of the book that had the cloud classifications listed. So I went and just found this article. I didn't actually pull the article, but I pulled it off the web, the InfoWeb News Bank thing they helped me out with at the library to locate a list of the old clouds, because now there's over 30 of them in the NASA cloud chart that was released in the last couple years. And they've been studying the clouds for a long time. They would have listed those clouds sooner if they were real clouds. They would have noticed them, they would have cataloged them, we would have heard about them sooner. But the fact is, we're not fooled. We see these clouds coming out of planes. We see what HAARP does. We see the changes in our skies, in our health, in our environment, in our crops, in our sunshine, and we're not fooled. We see you. We know what you're doing. We're not going to be taught what's real and what's not. We have our own mind and our own eyes, and we're still, by the grace of God, still capable of thinking for ourselves. And when you look at the timeline, it all lines up. It all makes sense. 1997 is when they started spraying. That's when they wrote the law, Public Law 105-85, to justify what they're doing, or to give them legal right to do it, so they can't be held accountable. I don't know if that really clears their conscience, but legally it does. And 1998 is when the weather started going bad, and then 2010 NASA comes out with their new cloud chart, thereabouts, and now you can't find the old clouds, or it's very hard listed in old books pre-1997. I mean, follow the money or look at the numbers, look at the years, look at the timeline, and it doesn't lie. 1997 changed life as we know it.
was like a great dragon tearing by.
A dragon's house looks like that tunnel. I never thought we'd ever get so near to a train as this.
It's better than toy engines, isn't it?
Don't know. It's different. It seems so odd to see all of a train. It's so tall. I've always seen them cut in half. It's magic. What is it?
It was like a great dragon tearing by.
Better than the hotel. I shall probably keep the menu as a souvenir.
A pot of tea for two, please. Make absolutely sure that the water is really moist.
Certainly, madam.
The moment I meet an attractive woman, I have to start pretending I've no desire to make love to her.
What makes you think you have to conceal it?
How do they walk in these things, huh?
Will you quit stalling? We're going to miss the train.
Hunter?
Yes, thanks.
Oh, I'm just a minute. Oh, beg your pardon. I'm so sorry. You can always tell a honeymoon couple, you know. They're so shy.
Beats flying, doesn't it?